every African child, you are loved based on condition. I know people with so many potential. To start is the problem because they don't see themselves worthy of starting something. The best way to educate our people here is to be an example. Just become successful. They will start to work on that. Sometimes success for some people is not achieving materials, it's overcoming certain traumas.
When you have positive energy within you, everything of yours is positive.
Attitude is not shown when you have something. Attitude is shown when that thing is taken.
Okay, so welcome to another exciting episode of the Prince Hamdan podcast. And today again, I have my brother Ibrahim Yunus in the building for us to have a conversation about some very important live issues and things happening around us. And I'm glad to be clothed by Didat Clothing inside Sanarugu in Tamale. One of the best, fashion designers in town. If you would want to look, dapper and, very well clothed like I am, call the numbers on your screen. As you can see, I'm looking like, OG from the 70s, yeah. And I'm loving the feeling. I'm loving the vibe. Bro, thanks so much for coming today.
Oh, it's a pleasure,
yeah,
brother.
And,
it's a pleasure.
Today, our conversation is a very open one.
Okay.
Not specific to anything. I just want us to talk about, life challenges and things that people go through on their way to make their lives better and all of that, and in a way of keeping themselves sane. Because if you look at the world now, is very chaotic, and there are a lot of things happening, and sometimes. It's very difficult for people to find their way around and all of that. And so sometimes when they listen to conversations like this, it helps, and then it makes it a lot more better. And, and myself, recently I was watching, some of the videos, we shot previously.
Wow.
Where we used to, shoot brain box and all of that. And, I sort of, felt something, and I said, today we'd have to, just talk about some of these things, growth in the process of whatever you want to achieve. I remember how we started, very, very limited with very limited resources, but we persisted, and alhamdulillah, we are. We are not there yet, but we are in a better, environment. We are. A lot of things have changed.
Absolutely.
And for me, I think it is important we talk about some of these things so people understand that it's a process. Whatever you want to do is a process. You have to start from somewhere. And grow into what you want to become. Because we've seen a lot of people. For example, we are YouTubers. We see a lot of people with huge numbers, and because we don't know their story, we feel that wow, this guy, God has blessed him. God loves him, and the people love him. He has millions of subscribers, forgetting that he started with zero.
Absolutely.
Just like every other YouTuber.
Absolutely.
But he has worked. He has worked for several years to be able to get to where he is, right? So for me, I think patience. It teaches us patience. So whenever I go to watch any YouTuber who is successful, I try to go and look at where they started.
Wow.
Which year did he start?
Wow. I love
before
that.
I compare myself with him.
I love that.
You get it.
Love that.
And I think this is very important because in the era we find ourselves, everything is so pleasing. Everything looks like gold. On social media, you go, somebody is, flashing beautiful, mansions and all of that, and you are quick to want to put yourself in their shoe. You want to also be like them, but you've not asked yourself, what are these people? How long have this person been working? How long has this person been in business? Before you start to compare yourself with him.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we see some of these things and we feel that all they have is amazing and all of that.
I'm getting you.
Forgetting that sometimes these people who even have all these things have the worst life around them.
You.
So sometimes money and like material things are not always,
Yeah.
the situation. I don't know whether you have any memories.
So this is what I want to say. Every child from Africa, this is where you start working on your self-esteem. Usually, children from Africa, we are deprived of so many things. I was listening to Warren Buffett, all his achievement. He said his best secret was unconditional love given to him by his parents. Unconditional love. I listened to Mark Zuckerberg, his freedom to explore.
Yeah.
That what he had is that the parents give him an opportunity to fail, freedom to fail. Every African child, you are loved based on conditioned. There's no unconditioned. You are loved based on conditioned. And they don't give you freedom to fail. In school, our way of schooling, if you fail, they cane you. So we are afraid to fail. So my line of work is to encourage the youth to work on their self-esteem. Your whole decision revolves around how you see yourself. The less you see yourself, trust me, you will never even push yourself to do anything.
Exactly.
I know people with so many potential. To start is the problem because they don't see themselves worthy of starting something. You must see yourself. It's worthy people that do worthful things. Trust me, if you don't feel worthy, you won't be able to do some of the things you are doing. So feeling worthy is not pride. It's not pride. I mean, it's God that made you. Would God made anything useless? So you must start working on your self-esteem. Now, there are several ways to look for self-esteem. You can get your self-esteem from external, like by maybe what people say about you, which I will not encourage you to do that. If you get your self-esteem from that, so you'll be inconsistent. If you are doing something and they are applauding you, you are doing it. When they stop, you go backwards. So, and success, one of the secret of what you mentioned, all those from who now have millions views and other things, what helps them is consistency. They've been consistent in the game for like 10 years in one thing, but our youth here, they lack that consistency because they have problem with their self-esteem. I was listening to Michelle Obama. She said one time one white lady or guy just insulted her black nature and other things. And because her self-esteem was okay, she started feeling pity for the guy, that she's imagining what he's going through. So, wow. So it didn't affect you. I'm like, wow. Once your self-esteem is intact, my brother, you are saved by so many things. So I will encourage every youth coming up, work on your self-esteem. It's very important. It gives you that confidence. And one way to work on your self-esteem is honesty. Keep your word. If you say you do something, do it. If you promise others you deliver, but when it comes to you, you are breaking it, it will affect your self-esteem. You can't even trust what you are saying. And another thing is patience. God said he's with those who are patient. If you lack patience, you involve in yourself with so many unnecessary activities. Another thing is identify your niche and stay there. You'll be fine. The world is very big, so don't try to do so many things. Yeah. So identify your area of gifting. They said that your gift will make room for you. Your gift will make room for you. So identify your gifting. Identify your mentors in that area of gifting. When you wake up, your brain is at the sharpest. Listen to them. Start doing some of the things they are doing. I mean, once you are doing that, inshallah, Almighty Allah will make a way for you.
One of the challenge I find with a lot of young people, especially within our setting, is that, we usually don't, we usually are not interested in things that are supposed to make us better, right? We are mostly interested in things that can, that would make us laugh and entertain us. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. There are a lot of, and I think that is quite different with the Westerners and the Western world, because they are interested in things that will uplift their, self-esteem, that would make them, very knowledgeable and all of that. But when it comes to, our part of the world, it is as though we are more into entertainment and all of that than,
I totally agree with you. My line of work, there was There was this program that was organized by one of these our northern artists. I don't want to mention the name. And a lot of people went for that. And there was another personal development program that was organized. These people were not willing to go for that. So it comes to a point that a lot of people who really need what we have, they rather prefer to be entertained than to be educated. But my issue is that entertainment will not change your life. It will just entertain you for a while, but at the end of the day, you go back to square two. I used to try to force people to change, and I learned my mentor that a person convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Be an example. The best way to educate our people here is to be an example. Just become successful. They will start to work on that. That is something I'm beginning to realize. Once you become, the more successful they see you, they'll be like, what is happening now? They'll start to come for serious help. But they don't listen to what you say. And now before they will start seeing the example, you've invested 10 years. So they have a lot of gap to catch. So that's just the difference. So now I don't try to kind of convince somebody, this thing, no. I'm just trying to be a model. I'm just trying to be an example. And those who are serious, when they see the changes, Yunus 2017, Yunus 2020, Yunus 2020. What's the secret now? They've seen results. So I agree with you. They prefer entertainment because they are suffering. Now, one thing that will help them overcome, like take them away from that suffering, that failing, is entertainment. Whether it's comedy, whether it's music, whether it's... And even we ourselves in the personal development industry, we entertain ourselves. I listen to good music. Entertainment is good, but it comes after education. Entertainment is for resting. You don't grow in entertainment. You get it? God rested 7th day. That is after work. I've seen a lot of youth like they are really working. Another thing is exposure. Exposure and awareness. Most of these people are limited here. They've not really traveled. They don't read. They've not had exposure. Trust me, if you're exposed to certain things, that is why I love internet. In fact, internet is God help to us. Anything you want to become, you have to see it. Anything I'm wearing, I've seen it. Anything I'm doing, I've seen it. When God wants to expand the vision of yourself, He made you see things. And anything you see, you want to become that. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people don't travel. Their whole life is here. So they lack that exposure. Another thing is awareness. I've been doing this motivational thing, but I wasn't getting so much subscribers on my YouTube. One day I spoke with you. You said, Yunus, your messages are long. Just cut it short and share it on the short. Today I can get 2.5K, 5 point something. I'm like, So it takes awareness to change certain circumstances. Sometimes things are not working, not because it's Satan. You are just ignorant. If you humble yourself and learn, it will change for you. But another thing is that this person is broke and he has pride. So you, how can somebody help you? Okay. How can you be helped? If you are rich and you have pride, I might say it's the money that gives you confidence. The house is no good. You are very broke and you have karambani again. You have pride again. So such a person, you just have to let him learn from your example. You get it? But it's all boiled down with how you see yourself. So much of my work is to help people see themselves. Once you see yourself differently. So one of the questions I ask is, 80 years when you look back, what are the things you regret if you are not able to achieve them? They will mention them and say, so now focus to get that. Don't compare your life with anybody. Don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 10. Sometimes success for some people is not achieving materials, it's overcoming certain traumas. Everybody on what success means to them. We are all moved by our values. But me personally, having a happy marriage, happy home, happy with my spouse, happy with my kids, that is my ultimate. So you see that my effort towards that would differ from people. So our effort, our energy, our time, I wake up reading books on how to sustain marriages, those kind of things. It's because I'm moved by my values. Now, money is a means to achieve those things. The reason why you are pursuing money, you are doing your work, is so that you get that money to fund, to finance and do these things. But if you now let money become the goal, now these things become your sacrifice. Now you achieve the money and feel empty. So there's this recent couples I'm counseling. I asked them to tell me what they will regret 80 years if they're not able to achieve. These are grown men, people who are even like very stronger than me. I asked the man, he mentioned his own. I asked the woman, she mentioned her own. And I told her, now the reason why you are into work, these are very rich guys. The reason why you are working for money is so that money will be a means to that end. But now you have made money the goal. So money is now the end. So you are losing certain things just to get the end. Now you get the end and you realize that there are several ones to get. You feel unfulfilled. So it's very important to know that these are happy marriage is my goal, but it takes money to maintain a happy marriage. Having a healthy relationship with my children is the goal, but it takes money to do that. So the goal is these things. I'll never sacrifice those things. But then the purpose for me wanting money is to be able to satisfy that. But money is not the ultimate.
People genuinely feel the world is not fair. The world is not a fair place.
I'm getting you.
For me, I think it is.
Okay.
But in your view, do you think the world is a fair place?
It's not fair. The world is not fair.
Okay.
Sometimes I remember Sarkodie that he wished he was born in New York because he just saw some of the things this Drake is doing and the funds he's getting, the resources he's getting. He felt like he has put in more and yet he's not getting that. So some of the work I'm doing, if it was in another part of the world, you could see some kind of what is the name. So in that sense, and sometimes you see somebody more handsome than you, somebody more richer than you, somebody having hair and you have bald hair, those kind of things, You see somebody with high self-esteem, you have low self-esteem. You enter some place, you see somebody doing something, you wish you can also be like that. You see people coming from a man, my two brothers, anytime we see our colleagues, their mother and father together, we feel jealous. Because you are from a home, the mother is here, the father is here. So all these things. So life really is not fair. According to my mentor, Les Brown, that to even go extra, that is not fair for fowls to eat worms, but fowls are eating worms. Because what did the worm do? So life in itself is not fair. It's not fair. Can you imagine we just use knife and just kill a goat or sheep and just eat it? That's not fair. Yeah. So in a way, sometimes they'll give an opportunity for a work, and just because the person is a lady, she's a beautiful lady, she'll get that opportunity leaving you. You'll be like, no, this is not fair. So saying life is not fair, I totally agree with that. Now this is the question, what do you do?
Okay.
So that is where
I wanted to finish and I also come with why I think life is fair.
Okay.
So you finish.
Okay, so now the question is that what do you do if you find yourself in that? What do you do? According to Viktor Frankl, that everything can be against you, but there's something God has given you, your freedom to choose your attitude in any given circumstance. So when somebody told me the reason why I'm a weed smoker, I'm robber, I fail in life is because of life is not fair. No, there are a lot of people with the same circumstance, but they didn't turn out like that. You always have the freedom to choose your attitude in any given circumstances. So today it rained before for me to come to that. Somebody will choose not to come and said it's because it rained. And let you see the dress I wear, the rain was with it. I choose. I just wrote it. You have the freedom to choose your attitude in these circumstances. And I choose to come here.
Wow.
So once you recognize you are free to choose your attitude in any given circumstances, that is free will.
And now, do you understand why I said the world is fair?
Convince me.
Your second explanation explains it.
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Whatever happens to you
Okay.
is choices that you have made, or people who were supposed to make choices for you made.
Yeah.
For example, you made the example of Sarkodie
Yeah.
wanting to, come from New York and all of that.
Yeah.
Who made New York, New York?
Yeah.
Do we have the same opportunities to make Ghana like New York? Yes, we did. But we didn't.
Yeah.
So the world is fair. We are not making it fair.
I'm getting you.
Right?
You.
Just as you said, everybody has a gift.
Yeah.
And it is your responsibility to identify your gift
I'm getting you.
and take advantage of it
I'm getting you.
and make the wealth you want to make.
Yeah. Yeah.
But somebody
Yeah.
would want to sleep
Yeah. Yeah.
while others are working hard.
I'm getting you.
You cannot have what they have
I'm getting
because they are working and you are sleeping.
I'm getting you.
You came into the rain and you are here. Today, if this episode explode and people are looking for you to interview you,
Yeah.
people are looking for your YouTube channel,
Yeah.
and your YouTube channel explodes,
Yeah. Yeah.
who to whose benefit?
I'm getting you.
But somebody would have slept and
Yeah.
say it's because of the rain.
I'm getting
So
you.
for me, God made the world fair.
I'm getting
It's
you.
we ourselves who is making it unfair.
Yeah.
For example, your parents are not rich.
Yeah.
Somebody's parents were rich,
Okay.
right? It makes how do you call it? There were reasons why their parents were rich and your parents were not rich. And that has followed you. Because if your parents were rich, the life you would have lived would have been different. That would have helped you a lot more to become better. But your parents weren't able to. So, like, for me, legitimately so, it's not everybody that can be rich. Right? But in the sense of fairness, there's always that opportunity for you to get whatever you want or to be whoever you want to be or to achieve whatever you want to achieve. It's just the options that you take that, don't give you.
Which is fair, which is very
exactly the
truthful.
point.
The point you are making, is very truthful. I totally reason with you. So what I will add is that now when it comes to here, we are talking of personal view of the world. I know there are some people that have a different view from this, but
exactly.
I understood the point you are
And then
coming
your
from.
view, view actually also
influence
exactly. How things will turn out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in a way, I understand you. Sometimes not the events is our interpretation of the
things.
events.
Yeah.
So you see, there's these two fathers with their sons. The sons like going out, they will not come. They will just go out, they will not come. So the other guy beat the child. He beat the child seriously. So the guy got angry and just left and went to wherever he's going. 3 days, he's not seeing the child again. 4 days, 1 week, he's not seeing the child. He became mad. He started looking for the child. Now, the other guy, he didn't beat the child. He followed the child to see where the child normally go. He went and saw that the child liked table tennis. So he's always with his best friends
playing table
tennis. So he and the wife agreed and they bought a table tennis and fixed it in their house. The next day, the guy got up and saw table tennis. He couldn't go. So he even called the friends.
And they came.
So it's the same events, but we interpret it differently and respond differently.
Exactly. So, and in this case, if the other son becomes a wayward child, would you say the world hasn't been fair to you? It's your dad who wasn't fair to you.
I'm getting your point.
Exactly.
I'm getting your point.
For me, I think, just as you rightly put it, is our understanding or our view of things that influence how the options or the choices we make, which is very important. Because for me, I always try to always have a positive view of things,
which is very important,
regardless how negative it is.
Which is
I always see something positive about it.
Very important.
I believe that whatever happens, no matter how negative it is for a reason.
Wow.
And a good reason at that.
Wow.
But maybe it will take you that negative like pressure or energy to be able to see the positive in what happened. I don't know if you get
back what you say. It has a scriptural backing. God said that when I bless my slave or us, when I bless my people, they feel happy. But if I take that blessing back again, they feel angry. They didn't know that I'm the one who gives, I'm the one who takes.
Yeah.
So now, when God bless me with something, I thank Him. When He takes it again, I thank Him. So attitude is not shown when you have something. Attitude is shown when that thing is taken. So in a way, understand you seeing the world in that positive light, and that's always been. I revolves around positive.
Yeah.
I always revolves around positives. And I think what always helps me is that you have the freedom to choose your response. Your response will determine your outcome. Our first seminar, I said that if you are passing and a lady insults you, you can either slap her or you just say, maybe this lady is in her menses. She's not normal and passed away.
And I so much love that, scenario you painted. You get it, where like how you think actually informs the actions. So immediately you start to feel that, okay, maybe there could be something wrong with this lady. Your action changes.
Sympathy comes in.
You get it. Empathy. But immediately you feel that this lady is being disrespectful. Regardless of what her actual intent is, your action will change.
Absolutely.
You get it. So like I've tried on several occasions to use that even with my close relations, because sometimes you are not actually in the mind of the person when they are doing something, and if you don't take time, your immediate reaction might even cause more mess. But when you go and start thinking what could be wrong, then you are giving that you've given that room for even further explanation, right? Just imagine, maybe the lady who slapped you for a good reason, right? Maybe you were about to fall in a pit. You were about to do so. He had to get you out of that scenario. You didn't realize that, but if you see things from that point of view, where you feel that, okay, this lady might have done that for a good reason, you give her that room for her to tell you what actually is the reason. There are several situations where people react and then they find out that it wasn't actually what they thought it was. But then you have already lost the trust of a lot of people, So I think it's really good if we are able to, before you take action, just ask yourself, like the positive questions that could be coming out of what has happened.
Now, to help us to be able to facilitate that is to take 100% responsibility of your life. Not 80%, not 70%. Take 100% responsibility of your life. When you take 100% responsibility of your life, then it means that anything that happens, you are the problem. Then if I'm the problem, then I am the solution.
To fix it,
If I am the problem, then I am the solution. So if this thing this person did, what did I do to contribute the person to do that? I am the problem. If I'm able to fix that, it will be solved. There are certain sayings one man used to say to his wife that made her to act a certain way, and he disliked the way she's acting, but he always blamed her. So I made him understand taking 100% responsibility of your life. So what did you normally say that led her to act that way? So anytime I say that, I say, you stop saying that and see whether she will act that way. Any effect has a cause. Now, my problem with a lot of people here is that they don't want to take 100% responsibility. They like to blame the government. They like to blame the society. So in that sense, they see the world to be unfair. They always have, because the easiest thing to do is to blame people. Blame your wife, blame your children, blame your husband, blame people, blame your friends. It's very easy. It makes you feel good. Like you are okay, you are not the problem. Now, if you are blaming somebody, then what it means that you are waiting for the person to change, then you can change. Now, they will not change. Your mom will never change. Your dad will never change. The government will never change. The society will be like that. So what happens to you? But once you take 100% responsibility of your life, what did I do that causes this? Then you start to work on yourself. Now, that is where healing comes in. You feel you healed, then you start to attract law of attraction. You start to attract goodness. Trust me, every person wants to be attracted to a good vibe. Once you are very negative, nobody wants to be around you. Now you'll be saying people are unfair. It's the energy you are exuding. So the energy you are releasing also is causing those kind of things. But if people would take 100% responsibility, look, it will help you become, you are working on perfection. It's very, very important. Now, here is the case about oil. Oil has to be refined in order to be useful. So human beings, too, when you are born, you need to be refined. And how do you refine something? The person has to go through certain things. Talent on natural level, it won't work. It has to be refined. And how does God choose certain tests to refine us with it? So I listened to Dr. Eric Thomas. He has been hurt by his father. He never understood why the father has never been there for him. Now he realized that all his siblings who were with their father turned out to be wrong. So God really saved him by doing that. If he were to be with his daddy, that would have been another thing. So only God knows. And God said that life is a test, that he will test us. That are we saying that he will not test us? He will test us. Life is a test. Now the answers are in the book. The answers are in the Quran. Now, another problem that is affecting us is ignorance. We are very ignorant. Now, how do you know somebody is ignorant? He thinks he knows. One way to identify an ignorance is somebody who thinks he knows. There are a lot you don't know. In fact, what you know is like this, what you don't know is like this. So, you see, the successful, wise people, they're always searching. They're only trying to read. They're trying to get, they are very humble, trying to learn. But very ignorant people, he just know one or two things, and he believes his whole life is around that. It's gonna really affect you. So when you look at Joseph, to look at all what he went through, but that was what helped him to become a prime minister. So some of these things, I remember a father who he locked his daughter from going to party, and the daughter was very angry with the father. So the other friends went. Unfortunately, they wanted to shoot that lady. She wasn't there, so they shoot the best friend. They just shoot the best friend in the head. Now, this lady, who the father locked, she finally became successful. They asked her, what's your secret? She said, the father. Had not been the father locked her, she wouldn't have been. We don't like tough love, but sometimes a way to show love is tough. And there's another man too. He had opportunity to travel outside for a big contract. Unfortunately, when he went to the aeroplane, his ticket was taken by another person. He got very angry because he needed that money. He was very angry. When he came back, the wife wanted to greet him. He sacked her. The children came. He sacked them because he's at the dire need of that money. Fortunately, or surprisingly, 7 o'clock p.m. news, the wife prepared food for him. He was eating, watching news, only to see that the plane he missed had an accident. Everybody died. So he just removed his hand and just knelt and thanked God.
And one of the things I want to say is about appreciation, right? When you're very appreciative, you get healed. You get a lot of happiness when you're content. You are like life looks good. It feels good for you because there's never a sad moment in your life because you always know where you are coming from and what you've gained. But human beings are such that we are always after the next big thing. Yeah. So we easily forget what we are blessed with, and it makes us a lot more sad, right? You have a bicycle and you are chasing a motorbike. Somebody doesn't have a bicycle.
Yeah.
You've forgotten that you used to walk.
Yeah.
Now you have a bicycle.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be happy?
Absolutely.
But because somebody has a motorbike,
yeah,
you also want a motorbike.
Yeah.
And that, if you don't get, becomes your biggest nightmare. forgetting that somebody is also looking for the bicycle that you have.
Yeah.
So for me, one thing I'm learning so much is to, just wake up and look at, where I was and where I am now, and just like let that happiness fill my spirit.
Yeah.
Let that, abundance, like fill my spirit. Because if you don't take time, it will all go away because of what you want to achieve. You feel that you don't have anything, you've not achieved anything, or God hasn't blessed you.
Absolutely.
But when you look back, and though you are chasing for more, you look back and see where you've come from.
Wow.
And you'll be like, happiness will never leave your life.
Absolutely.
Anytime you feel unhappy, just remember where you used to be.
Yeah.
Or where you've seen somebody that is worse than where you are.
Absolutely.
And trust me, you'll always be happy.
And that is something I admire a lot about you and I. I could see that our journey, what keeps us going, is identifying the little wins and appreciate them. And I always, I'm very thankful with that. You are doing well with that.
I'm always excited too. And I appreciate the love and the support, and it's so much respected. And for me, I feel that it might not be today, we might not be seeing it, but there are a lot of people who come here, who call me and say, Ibrahim Yunus, is he not around?
Wow.
They love what you are doing. Like just quite recently, I don't know whether you know Tofik Gombla, the poet. He was just like he just wanted to meet you, and he expressed how much he loved what you are doing, and then he said we should tell you that you should continue. So
thank you to hear that.
Most of the times we feel that what we are doing is very little, but it is very big in the eyes of people. We might not be seeing it, but the little that we put out there goes to encourage a lot of people. There was another lady who also came around, and she appreciates your submissions, and then she loves how you give your submissions and all of that. So for me, I think that's even the reason why I think that we have to keep on at least just having conversations, just to like you don't know who might benefit from it and all of that.
When was that? I was going through our pictures. I saw our brain boss.
Just recently I saw those.
I said, these two people. That's interesting.
And you see, that was why I started on that note, because by then, like, it was just one camera. There was no lights, nothing.
Exactly.
You get it. But now we've been able to move to a point where we have like good lights, good cameras, and we've been able to transform.
You know what? One day let's do a gratitude podcast whereby we'll just list things and just be grateful with them. Even our YouTube subscription, I've seen a lot of changes. Once I was listening to my first seminar at a library, and I said, right now I have 400 subscribers. My goal is to have 1,000 subscribers. That's 1.9 something. Wow. You see, now with regard to the very important point you made, we desiring, wanting to have more. It's in the Quran. God said that He would test us to always wanting more. Then He would take our life without we knowing. So while we are searching, that is, God will just take your life and you don't know.
And you see, I'm very, very, like, I'm somebody who is very, very, like, I don't know whether to say obsessed or like mindful about like death.
Wow.
And the fact that we are not going anywhere. Wow. Nobody's going to live here alive.
Wow.
I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. So it has always informed how like very moderate I want to be or to have, right? I'm somebody I don't like fancy too much because you die and live it. It's not going anywhere.
I observed that about you.
So like I'm always trying to be very like, and at the end of the day, it makes me happy because I know that even if I want it, even if I have it,
I'm getting you.
It is worthless.
I'm getting you.
All I need is to be able to just take care of my responsibilities, and I'm good to go.
I just love that about you.
And I think if a lot of people are able to have that culture of being moderate and not really Just wanting, just imagine, there are a lot of people who buy things because they have money that they don't need.
Yeah.
Somebody who have like 10 cars. What are you doing with 10 cars?
And when you listen to Adnan Dangote, he's currently on TikTok and
Okay.
YouTube, Adnan Dangote, he said, once you identify your passion, what you love, your area of gifting, you get your validation from that. But those who don't have that, how do they get their validation? Is by having materials, having 10 cars, having 14 ladies, having this. That's so once you have that passion, that gifting, that business, that thing you love, that is where you drive your satisfaction from. So if somebody said, Hamid, your video has touched my life. Now somebody who is not doing that, where would he get that? So he has to use his car. Look, I just released. So like Mark Zuckerberg like this, you see him wearing a simple shirt.
He has no time.
It doesn't mean he doesn't
And sometimes
have
you wonder
cars
whether
and
all the money they say he has, he actually have them.
But he drive his validation from, you let him come out with a new app.
Yeah.
He will show it everywhere. So we gain our satisfaction from this thing. Anytime I bath, look good, and come and speak well, and somebody said my message has touched ABCD, that's where I drive my validation
A
from.
lot of people.
Not from materials and other things. So when you are with people and they don't have that thing you have, how do they also drive their validation? So they have to use materials. So they are showing their material, they are showing their asset, they are showing this, they are trying to get more. Meanwhile, they also have the same gifting you have, just as you are saying. Now, I'm still wanting to hit the point you made. We desire more, more. One is already in the Quran. Quran said, while we are desiring more, he will just take our life. That's what God said. So it's innate in all of us. It's just that some are able to control it. Now, the second thing is that you mentioned of being grateful. God said the more grateful you are, the more he gives you.
Get, yeah.
So you realize that you being grateful, you see different opportunity, different ideas, different things. You'll be like, where are these guys? Because God said, I only bless those who are grateful. So once you stay in gratitude, now the funny thing that people who want more, they even deserve to be grateful. But unfortunately, they are not being grateful. So if you enter my room, I have this thing I wrote. Happiness is in what you have, not what you want.
Because you already have that. You might not have what you want.
So happiness is in what you have, not what you want. So I wanted, now that I'm done with the masters, I'm applying tertiary level. So I apply one particular tertiary level and
teach.
they promised me.
To teach, right?
Yes, they promised me. The principal was very happy with me. The next day when I went, it got diluted. So when I came, I just saw the quote. Happiness is in what you have, not what you want. What I want is that tertiary school. What I have is where I'm teaching.
You are.
And I'm okay. So I just felt good.
Yeah, and you see, words are powerful.
Very, very powerful.
And sometimes we take them for granted. The words that are spoken to you, and the words, and even much more powerfully, are the words that you speak to yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? It changes everything.
Wow.
You see, somebody, they interview a lot of billionaires and a couple of billionaires, and they say that, like, if all they have now is taken from them, within the next 2-3 years, they'll be back to where they were. It's not about, like, you know, like blessing or something. It is part, but the majority of the fact is that you need to, you know, kind of like up there,
Yeah.
you know how to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to
getting
make,
you.
but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
They don't, and it's more like this person has money.
Yeah.
He has done this. He has done that. And a lot of people work so hard, but they won't be able to to achieve anything.
Absolutely.
You know, all because of, you know, how the things you are able to talk about, to talk to yourself about, how you are able to, like, I mean, play your mind, to position your mind, to be very, you know, like productive, to be very,
powerful.
you know, powerful and, you know, strong.
Yeah.
You get it. But if you are not able to do that, there's a lot of, you know, dirt. There's a lot of
Yeah.
pollution in your
Frustrations you
you
go
won't be
through.
able to.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
success needs a very like I don't know the word to use. A very productive mind.
Yeah.
If you are not productive in the mind, you won't be able to.
So I'm very happy with this comment you made. The goal is not to be better than another man. Is to be better than the person you were.
Yeah.
You used to be. That's what Dalai Lama said. So what I've come to realize is that if you look into the world, there will be people who have more than you. And there will be people you are also better than.
More than, yeah.
Now, those people who have more than you, they also have those who are also
More
more
than them,
them.
yeah.
You get the issue. So the goal really is not to be better than somebody. It's to be better than, look at your chapter 1. Look at where you used to be and look at where you are. So is your condition better than you were yesterday? If yes, then you have to be thankful. It's very, very important. Now, happiness is in what you have, not what you want. If you are a guy, you want this lady, and you've put in your effort, and the lady has diluted it. I want you to write this. Happiness is in what you have, not what you want. Maybe you have this lady, just that you don't take her serious. Maybe you already have a wife. Happiness is in what you have. Remember when you used to want this particular one you already have?
Yeah.
If you are a guy who wanted a particular motorbike, happiness is in what you have, not what you want. Remember when you wanted that particular motorbike? If you're a guy who wanted a certain kind of job, happiness is in what you have, not what you want. This job you have right now, remember when you wanted it so hard?
You see, what a rich man buys a new car, how he feels, is exactly the same way a poor man who buys a bicycle feels.
Absolutely.
You get it. So there's no difference, and the feeling is that immediately you feel excited, you'll be happy about this new bicycle. Give it 5 months, 6 months. When you buy it, you wash it every day. After 2-3 months, you start to reduce it.
Exactly.
So
I like that.
You see, and that's one of the things I also
like that.
used to make myself or my desire for things low, because regardless what it is,
Absolutely.
the first few months you have it, you'll be excited.
Exactly.
After that, it will just be like any normal thing you've
That's
ever
it.
had. So what's the point then?
I remember-
Unless it is necessary or it is something that must be in your life. I don't really fancy it.
I don't know, that statement you made is universal for everybody.
Yes, yes,
There's this
yes.
news id where I made them sue for me. Come and see. Oh,
You wanted
on top.
everybody to see
Now,
it.
now he's up there. He's there. He's lying there.
That's how
Yes,
we
I
are
think
made.
that's how it
That's
is.
our nature.
Maybe it's only from this my passion. I like to improve.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way I always feel like, you are becoming the best version of yourself. So my way of speaking, when I was having my diploma, I have a way of presenting my issues. When I went for my first degree, I have a way of presenting. Now that I'm with the masters, I have a way of presenting. Now people are telling me, I remember a seminar I organized at Pontas. One of the tutors who knows me when I started, you've improved totally. I said, you've not even seen anything. You give me 10 years. Becoming the best version of yourself. Every day is an opportunity to become the best of me. Every day is an opportunity.
And one thing that also gets me up is people feel that to be the best, you must have everything.
I'm getting you, which is
You get
wrong.
it, which is wrong. There are poor people who are in their most happiest states, who don't have money, but they have a lot of things rich people don't have.
Absolutely.
You get it. So
Absolutely.
there are things that could have made you happy, but because of your misunderstanding of what happiness should mean,
Wow.
you put yourself into a situation whereby
Absolutely.
you are unhappy unnecessarily.
I
You
like that.
you should have been
I
happy,
like
but
that.
because of your misunderstanding of
I'm
happiness,
getting you.
you've put, and that's why I think mindset is very important.
That's our greater asset.
To be able to live a sane life in this world.
That's our greater asset.
And I absolutely
At the end
agree.
of everything, your greater asset is your mind. Your hands, your legs, your everything can be anything. If your mind is okay,
You are done.
that's the most important. But if your mind is having a problem and everything is okay, it won't work. At the end of the day, the most important thing is having peace. Anything you do, anything you have, and you feel peace within, never compromise your peace. Now,
Not even for money.
absolutely.
Yeah, not even for money. Yeah.
Never compromise your peace. At the end of the day, all what the rich man is trying to achieve. At the end of the day, he wants peace. So your peace is paramount. So every single individual, every day, do 2-3 things that brings you peace. You see this shooting we are doing, it will bring me peace. I don't joke with my peace. And the more you have peace, the more you have some energy.
The more you become productive.
Absolutely.
The more your energy becomes very positive. And you see, the world, you see, God is great.
Absolutely.
The world is created in a way that it works by itself.
Yeah.
Positive energy, right? That's why we have the law of attraction. You attract what you put in.
I'm getting you.
So when you have positive energy within you, everything of yours is positive. Like it's successful.
You are reading, you are making certain powerful statements.
You get it. Everything of yours
like
is successful.
Wow. I like
But
that.
the more you feel that, and you see, sometimes
You are learning a lot.
people actually feel that when they're angry and bitter about people, when they are like upset about people, it makes them happier, or it makes it solves the situation.
I'm getting you.
You're worsening your life.
Yeah.
You become like, because that person you are angry about doesn't even know you are angry.
It's like you take DDT and expect the
Somebody
person
to die. It doesn't. It
And
won't
the
work.
antidote to all human suffering is love and being grateful. Forgiveness, love, and being grateful. These are the secrets.
For your own goodness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime I've easily had a problem with anybody, I'll just
It
say,
affects you.
I forgive this person. I forgive you. I've forgiven you.
Whether you even know or not.
No, I've
like just for
forgiven
my
you.
own peace.
Yes, and I say, I've forgiven you too. That version of you were maybe 12 months younger than who you are right now. So you are not that person again. I've forgiven you. I've forgiven you, Dad. I've forgiven you, Mom. I've forgiven you this. I've forgiven you. Now the next is love. So you be there, okay. I try to show you love. I pray for you. I do whatever I can to love. Another thing is being grateful. Ya Allah, thank you. So anytime it's raining, I remember Accra, it was raining and some people were just outside and rain was beating them. They don't have a place to sleep.
Oh.
So anytime it's raining and I just lie down, I see my environment. I just say, Ya Allah, thank you. I have a roof over my head. Thank you. If I buy fruits and I'm taking mango, thank you. I start to and all these things gives me peace. So these are my core: forgiveness, love, and being grateful.
And these things bring you whatever you need.
Absolutely.
Whatever you need.
It's
Be it money,
very true.
be it love, be it
Yeah.
affection.
Yeah.
It brings it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
unfortunately, people who are chasing money don't get money.
They want the money to feel what we are already feeling without even having
exactly.
it.
So you are free to actually attract it and
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
Man, amazing.
Oh, this is a nice conversation.
Amazing.
This is a nice conversation. I think another thing is knowing your lane. Once you know your lane, the human body is such that we want to do something. We want to find like we are doing something that is significant, that is meaningful, and that is useful. Like human, why would somebody join a gang? They want to feel significant. They want to feel valued. They want to feel appreciated. They want to feel respected. You don't see these things, but their significance in the spirit. And we are spirit before flesh. So because of what you do, you gain respect, you feel appreciated, you feel valued, you feel good about yourself, you find peace. You don't feel like you are failing. So I would advise every young one, identify your lane. Don't feel bad starting small. We all started small. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You can't be Les Brown said that you don't have to be perfect to start. You have to start to become perfect. So if you have two people, one is waiting to be perfect to start and one start, which of them will be perfect? Quantity lead to quality. They took a research on those who took several pictures to get the best one and those who waited to take one which is the best. At the end of the sampling, the best picture came from are those who took severally to pick the one. So quantity lead to quality. The more you are doing something,
the more you perfect it.
I remembered how you used to do your editing, how I used to do certain things. Quantity lead to quality. Practice makes man perfect. Stop waiting to be perfect because you will never be. And sometimes we don't have value in the thing we are doing. People are selling drugs and they are making money. Somebody is on TikTok just twerking to make money. If you have a voice, if you have a message, if you have a product, I love this man that if you truly believed your product is valuable, it can help people, you are irresponsible to keep it. If you really believe in your product or service, it's good, it can help somebody, and you keep it, you are very irresponsible. More of the time, we don't even believe in our product. And I'm telling you, people are selling cocaine. People will just pick dog sounds and craft and make money. So I'm telling you, every young one, that thing you have is useful.
But for the fear of failure.
Absolutely. Which is very bad.
You see, with regards to failure, I think it has stopped a lot of great things and great people.
Absolutely.
You know, that fear that what will happen if I do this. And I remember in one of our conversations where you said that what would happen if you don't even like. I've forgotten how you put it.
Yeah, where you already have it.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you lose it, what happens? If you try and it doesn't work, what's the difference?
Lose what we
what
already
what
have.
if it works? You get it. And you see, for me, one of my biggest things, or one of the biggest things I'm always happy about is that I'm not afraid to try.
I like that about you.
Once I have an idea, I want to try it.
Yeah.
I don't want people to tell me
Yeah.
what the outcome will be like.
I think it's courage.
I want to experience it.
It's
I want to
courage.
fail. And then
It's
I will learn from it.
It's courage.
I might
and
equally
wisdom.
also succeed with it.
Yeah, it's courage and wisdom.
You get it.
Courage is not the absence of fear.
Exactly.
It's you feel the fear and still do it.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm saying what you have is courage and wisdom.
Exactly. And
Exactly.
you see, there are a lot of people who, just as you said earlier, have great ideas, but they fear.
Yeah.
They don't
Low
believe.
self-esteem.
They don't believe like
Low
they could be the people to do it.
Low
And
self-esteem.
I keep saying that some of the people who came out with some of the best ideas and solutions in the world never knew it will work.
Absolutely.
Even Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook, he never believed it would be
Everything seems
it would be
impossible
this
until it's
exactly.
done.
It will be this big.
Yeah.
You get it. But if you don't try, you never know.
People confuse humility with low self-esteem. You and I, we are humble, but we hold a very high esteem. You could be very humble, but your self-worth is intact. You don't get intimidated by anybody.
Nobody.
I might be very humble with you, but I don't get intimidated by you at all. So I think that is that thing that kind of separates from others.
Yeah.
And we are very humble. Some people, they have low self-esteem. In order to protect it, they try to be prideful. and that one, it doesn't help them.
Guys, I think this conversation or this podcast should be weekly. I don't know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section. Let's know what you think about the conversation and probably what are some of the things you want us to talk about. And we'll gladly honor that. Is there any other thing you'd want to?
Well, I think it's just these three things. They should those people watching us. In as far as they are watching, learning, we are thankful with that. But if they really want to change their life, they must take 100% responsibility of their life.
Lives.
Look, I used to blame the government, blame my parents, blame my friends, blame Ghana, blame the society, but my life was not changing. So all your blame is valid. Like I can connect with you, it's valid. All the blame you are saying is true. But at the end of the day, does that change your life? The only thing that will change your life is not to change them, is to change yourself. Right now, my mom is the same. My dad is, although she has lost, I've lost my mom, may his soul rest in perfect peace. My dad is the same. Ghana is the same. Government is the same. But I am not the same. Sometimes the way to change your circumstances is to change your life. But my work with the youth, I've realized that they want to change their circumstances remaining the same. Now, the way you remain the same, that attracted those conditions to you. Now, if you want to change those conditions, don't you think you have to remain the same?
Yeah.
You have to do new things to bring new things. And my second thing with them is that exposure. They should read. They should watch YouTube. They should use internet very wisely. They should see good things. They should identify their niche and focus on that. They should look for exposure. If they get opportunity to travel somewhere, they should do that. Exposure is very important.
And to add to that, they should get good mentors and get close to them.
Very important.
Because one of the things that can change your life completely is the people you associate yourself with.
Absolutely.
And if you are willing to change and you have a good mentor, there's nothing that will stop you.
Absolutely. They should learn skills too. Learn skills. Develop new skills. Don't be static with one skill. If it is social media skills you need to learn it.
Yeah.
You need a skill to
because
grow.
now we are in a skill world. It's a very skillful world where even people who are who have gone to universities may not get jobs, but people with skills will have choose the kind of jobs they want to do and make it.
Skill is very paramount.
Exactly.
Skill is very paramount.
So we are not saying don't go to school, but with the school, probably get a
skill to add.
That might even be your employable skill.
Yeah.
Rather than the school alone.
So this is my last. Okay, this is my last statement. Take God seriously. In this end time, it will come to a time nothing can save you except your relationship with God. Take your spirituality very seriously. You might not do it to the extent the way I'm doing it. 3:30 a.m. I'm awake. I do my prayers. I recite my Quran. Monday and Thursday I fast. Monday, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's his birthday. The day he was born is on Monday, so he used to fast. So I always fast on Mondays as a Muslim. Thursday is the day I was also born. So Thursday I also fast.
I was also born on a Thursday too.
So that's great. Another thing is sowing seed into greatness. Whatever that you want and you see somebody having it, sow a good seed. Don't speak ill of it. Don't be jealous and speak bad of it. Maybe what Prince Hamdan is doing, you also want it. Sow a seed. If you can't give money, say good words to that. But don't spoil. Maybe what I'm doing is what you want to do. Sow a good seed to it. That is the only way God will bless you. But if you are speaking ill of that, negative things, there are already a lot of negative people around us. So there was recently, I posted a message and one guy just picked it and went and shared it on his flyer and spoke bad things about me. I was shocked. I've been posting positive message. He has never shared it. And I just posted a message. A guy met this lady, impregnated, abandoned the lady. And then he went and got married. 10 years, he's not having a child. So he now went to supermarket and met this former lady. with that boy he abandoned, and the boy is grown. This woman struggled with the boy, and now they are okay. So he now want to come back into their life to pick the child. And from the story, the woman also cursed the guy. So I'm saying sometimes before God will bless you with so many children, he will test you with one to see how you handle it. How you handle the one will determine whether God will trust you with more or what. Then the guy picked the message that this is not in the Quran. I'm a liar. Look at lies. Just because you sit behind camera doesn't make you an expert. Who are you? So I said, I wish you all the best. It's rather unfortunate. So negativity
some of these
will not
things
help us.
would people. There are people who are just like that, regardless of how you can't change them. The best is
It's
just to
sad.
ignore and just keep on.
And me and
preaching.
him, we are Lionel Messi fans. So when I went to his speech, he only said Messi. And Messi never spoke bad thing of anybody. So,
So it's all good. It's all good. I'm excited to always have these conversations, and I'm sure today we have touched somebody's soul, and
Inshallah.
we are sure that by the grace of God they will become better, and as we work on ourselves to become better as well,
Inshallah.
because nobody is perfect.
Inshallah.
And thanks to our viewers for always watching the show. I'm super excited you are part of this podcast. If you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and so that you'll be able to, have or see all the episodes we'll be shooting, so you don't miss. And big thanks to my designer, Didat Clothing, and in Narago in Tamale, who is making sure I'm looking all dapper and like an OG. Amazing design. Big shout outs to you, Ahmed Didat in Narago, for this beautiful outfit. And until the next episode, my name is Prince Amdan. Peace. We out.